What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed
that's
sports
my line.
analyst. Well, okay, you know what? I just got too excited. I see Dan dancing around. Lane is looking so damn dashing that, like, I think he's just
By the way,
dashing man alive.
I don't know if you guys can see this on the TV. What am I watching right now? Virtual hockey. It's hot. It's the NHL in cartoon format. Can this be every game? What is
Wow.
this? Is terrifying. what am I watching right now?
Try to get Americans to do hockey, I guess.
I would watch if every game was like that. I think I would be way less mad at the Leafs. I'd be like, oh, it's cartoon. It's cartoon Austin Matthews getting his butt kicked. That's funny.
It'd actually be pretty hysterical.
Oh, you should see when they score a goal, a bunch of confetti goes off and they jump around. They jump on each other.
Well, it works for the Blue Jays. Maybe it'll work for hockey.
See what you see? They score and then all the teammates come and jump on them.
That's actually pretty funny.
I know. All right, no more of that. But yeah,
maybe we should just strictly change to that kind of content. That's all we do here at the desk.
Can we watch highlights of games?
I don't know if we could watch highlights like that, actually. That's a great question.
Cartoons. Purely do a game a week. It's from a week ago, but still. That is hilarious. But anyways, yeah.
But how's everyone doing today?
Good. I'm feeling pumped. I'm feeling ready. I predicted the Jays are going to win in Game 7 before this World Series even started. And I think I'm going to be right here.
Also, yo, what it do, David? Always good to hear from you. And also, thank you to David for the like. We always appreciate the likes here at the desk. As Dan says in the comments, by the way, I love that profile picture taken by yours truly. Big Super Saturday, Game 7 World Series, CFL Playoffs. And other NHL games. And yeah, Shades, we really do got to wonder. Maybe the Jays just don't realize bunting is a way to get on base.
Yeah.
Like, you make a very interesting point there about the Jays with that. Maybe they need to just simplify their game and try to move the offense that way. And just so you guys are aware, we will be doing a Toronto Blue Jays post-game show tonight after the Jays game. So
not this again.
Make sure you're locked in with us there. But right now, we got to talk CFL playoffs.
Oh, I just want to make one thing clear. So I will not be on the post game, not because I'll probably be crying in the corner. I actually won't be able to watch the game until 11 o'clock because I will be in Georgetown. So for anyone who follows me or on Facebook, or please don't message me to score because I will be watching it. I'm going to try to watch it at 11 o'clock, like a Freddy versus Jason horror movie with my little blankie and my cup of water and be like, oh, please win. So please, no one. I'll just say, please don't message me to score. Please don't tell me who wins. Just want to get that out here.
Maybe I'm just crazy here, but I only want to watch the game live.
And see, Dan,
I don't get you guys to watch it replay.
But Dan, it's live as long as you don't know what happened.
Still, it's just me. I want to watch the 7. Like, after it's done, I'll watch my 30 seconds of highlights and move on to the next game.
So, Dan, okay, so Dan, I got a gas for us, unrelated to, we were talking to Jacob, so I'm just going to throw it to you. So say it's the Argos, right?
Yeah.
And for some unforeseen circumstance, you had to miss the Grey Cup game. Like, you had to go help me get
You lost your weenus.
You lost your weenus, and you had to go find it, and it was in Sudbury, and you had to come back, and you had to get it that day. So would you want to know if I came to you and said, "Hey, Dan, the Argos won the Grey Cup 30-25," or would you not want to know that, or would you want to at least be like, "Well, I could tape it, come home, and then find out that the Argos"?
I want to know. I'm listening to it on the radio.
I disagree with you, Dan. But to the
comments
section,
it's not the same, but you just can't pause live. You know?
Yes, you can. Schneider, I do agree. Schneider does not like bunts. And Mark coming in with the comments. Love the profile picture, Mark, by the way.
Yeah, sick
You
on
saw
the
the news about
boat.
the Sky Dome being possibly torn down. I gave that a quick search.
Whoa.
I don't. The most I see is when it was almost torn down in 2020.
They're not tearing it down.
I don't think so. I've heard rumors about people signing petitions to try to get the name changed
Back to Sky Dome.
Right, yeah, I've heard that too.
But I haven't heard anything about
put
being
so much
torn.
money into that.
Yeah, I think if they didn't put the money into the big screen and into great question, by the way, Mark. I think
Great
if they
question,
put
Mark.
the
Thank you for
money
the comment.
into the money into the big screen, money into the TD clubhouse, money into the WestJet fly deck, money into the Corona steak, however they call it, then what's that corner in the 300s? I forget what they call it. But anyway, I think if they didn't do all those things, I think it's quite possible they could have rebuilt another building in the same location. Let's face it, it's the best location ever. Like, we're literally on the main block of downtown Toronto, which is the main block of Canada. It's the best location of all time.
We will be on until the kickoff of the first football game today, which will be just after 2:00. Mark, I see you shared the source in here, so thank you very much. We will legitimately look into that after the show, because that's something I'm going to want to do some research on. Thank you very much, Mark. Love the comment and love the question.
That's a great question. That's
what we love. As much as I said in high school, I hate homework, I love the homework, because I can't wait to look into that.
Well, that's the thing on the decks here, right? We have whatever the people want to talk about. That's what we talk about.
So now what I want to get into, and Mark, I absolutely will try that link once we're not live on the air, so I can actually try to read into that and really investigate.
Yes.
But right
great
now,
topic.
I have tried to be absolutely crazy. And I have tried to predict the entire CFL playoffs.
Oh, like Blake Button with the hockey.
So what I want to do right now, before I bring it up on screen, let's actually just start talking about the first series. So at 2:00, we have the Montreal Alouettes versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, right?
Yep.
I don't know if you guys have heard, I talked about it in the headlines that dropped just after 10:00 this morning, about Davis Alexander really taking shots at Willie Jefferson.
I did hear
saying,
that.
We ain't scared. Montreal Alouettes have also been posting to Instagram, scared of who? We ain't scared of you.
Yeah.
So it's look, I'm not going to lie, guys. It is a very interesting tactic to be going after Willie Jefferson in that kind of manner.
Legend Willie Jefferson, and Dave Alexander's a Wookiee, so pretty ballsy.
I wonder if it'll backfire, right? Because I do wonder, will we see the chat? And I'm sorry, Dan, but will we see the Chad Kelly effect, where you dominate the entire season and the playoffs is a complete disaster?
Call me crazy, but I'm taking the underdog. I think Winnipeg, the city of championships, they got a W in their logo for a reason. I think they're going to come up with a big W and come up with the win today.
And I will say Winnipeg, but the only thing is Winnipeg has struggled against the East at times.
I get that.
But Lane, are you more on the side of, as much as Alexander's talking his talk, do you think he's going to walk the walk today?
Yeah, actually, I do think he's going to pull it off today. I really do. I think Winnipeg has been a team of this has been an up and down season for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, right? They had the suspension with Zach Collaros, and you had a few weeks of mediocre football. You got Zach Collaros back; they looked okay, then they didn't look okay. Then Zach Collaros got hurt, then they looked okay, then they didn't look okay. It's been up and down. It's been really unpredictable. It's been good moments, bad moments, up and down kind of thing. And Montreal has had the moments, but when Davis Alexander's in, there's definitely been more good than bad. It's because he just still has never lost a game. And I think Davis Alexander is that guy. And we're going to see today whether he's going to have his Nathan Work moment, as Dan Moore used to like to say, where it's like, well, he can't, you can talk the talk, but when the playoffs, you got to walk the walk here. And
Mr.
Quipboard. We're going to see if he has either can rise above that, or if he can, keep his undefeated streak going alive, or if he's going to kind of fall into the pressure a little bit here.
Now, I think the key is going to be for Winnipeg to try to win this game. I think it's going to have to be they're going to have to run the ball. I think this is going to be a Brady Oliveira game, because Zach Collaros, whether you like him or lump him, has been turning the ball over a lot this year.
Yeah.
And Montreal's defense loves to get turnovers. Now we're not gonna get into any details because there's not enough information out by the press release from the Canadian Football League, but Sean Oakman will not be playing in this game as he violated the gender-based violence policies.
I'm not buying it.
We're not going to get any further into it. It's been saying it has to do with him trying to solicit a minor of one of his teammates. So obviously the CFL needs to take action while they are looking into it. But before Dan tries to make a comment, we're not making any comments on it. We are just stating that he is not in the game. And obviously if he, if proven guilty, then obviously this is something the CFL can't tolerate, and we will probably never see him play another snap of football again. But that is a big hole.
See it kind of like Son Lemon, where we're like, oh, well, he's just scrapping a list to move on.
A big difference between betting on yourself and, potentially trying to solicit a minor. Very, very different situation. But at the end of the day, Montreal will not have him. Sean Lemon, funny you mentioned him, he is back in the lineup for this game. Ooh. So he could make a difference on that pass rush. I really think the key for Winnipeg is going to be to establish the run. And I think the key for Montreal is going to be, let's just get the offense rolling. Let's just get comfortable. Let's get Davis Alexander into a groove early, because playoff football is very different. I'm expecting a lot of screen passes to start the drives. That's one thing Jason Moss and that team loves to do. Screen pass, screen pass, screen pass, shot down the field. Wow. So expect that. That's what they did a lot with Cody Fajardo. And we're going to see right now, this is the true test. Was letting go of Cody Fajardo the right decision?
Right. Yeah.
On the Winnipeg side, I don't know if Nick Dembski's playing today. I haven't seen either way yet. Can this team actually keep... So, sorry, Mark. Can you take 2 minutes to explain that policy and what happened? So, unfortunately, we don't know too much about what happened with Sean Lemon at the moment. Not with Sean Lemon, sorry, with Sean Oakman at the moment. Long story short.
This came out last night.
It just came out last night. So, long story short is that he has been accused of sending explicit photos to someone in their teammates, a minor in their family. So, he has been automatically pulled out of the CFL. The Montreal Alouettes have cut him automatically, and there's going to be an investigation. Until that investigation is out into the forefront, we're not quite sure what happened yet. So, but more or less, if it's what they're accusing him of, then Sean Lemon probably isn't playing football anymore. And not Sean Lemon, sorry, Sean Oakman. They're both named Sean. And yeah, Mark, absolutely. If it is what they're saying it is right now, we're not saying it is, we're not saying it isn't. We're just going off the press release by the Canadian Football League. It's a very, very bad situation, and Montreal Alouettes are just getting him out of that locker room right away. And
that's
just
a smart move, though.
I think it
is a smart move, because whatever if he did it or didn't do it, the fact that is up in the air right before the playoffs, it's a massive team distraction, right?
Well, and also too, if he did, you can't have that around. Football's a big family sport, right?
Well, 100%. Now, one thing I just want to remind everyone, a lot of people do not know, Sean Oakman is a former Argo, and he was falsely accused before, actually served jail time for a crime that he did not commit. So,
which is why we are not saying he did what they are saying is in the press release. All we're doing here at the desk,
we're just reporting what we know.
We're just reporting what we know and nothing further. So, because that's all we know right now. That's what the CFL has released. We are just going off the press release. This is where some people get mad at not that we're like mainstream media, but people get mad at the media. All we can do is report on what's out there in the public. I'm looking right at you, Dan, about that one. But no, I'm very curious to see how Winnipeg can handle this matchup. And I'm not going to get into my picks for this game yet. But Lane, are you taking Montreal? Dan's taking Winnipeg.
I'm taking Montreal. I think that undefeated streak's going to stay alive here.
Staying alive.
Yeah, exactly. Stay alive.
So if Montreal wins, Lane, what do you think? Do you think it's going to be through the air? Do you think it's their defense? Where do you see this team kind of taking over this game?
I think it's just going to be the offense. I just think Davis Alexander. Like I said, I think he's. I think he's legit.
And they got a stack. The running game's a question mark.
I can see Mac having a big game. He's kind of had a quiet year, and return of the Mac, I think he got a big game.
Austin Mack, when he's on all cylinders, for anyone who hasn't been following the CFL as long, is a Kenny Lawler caliber receiver when he is on his game. He is. He is a Kenny Lawler, and so is Tyson Philpott. When you have Tyson Philpott, Austin Mack, And Tyler Snead just had his first 1,000-yard season
I was
this
going
year.
to say,
This
Snead's really
receiving
good
core in
this year.
Montreal
Sneaker's really good.
is deadly. For Winnipeg, I think you're really going to rely on good old Pokey Wilson Ontario Wilson to really try to be the main receiver in that. I'm just looking in to see if Nick Dembski is playing.
I hope he is.
I knew he was a game time decision.
This is do or die. I think he's playing.
So I'm looking into it currently. I'm just doing a quick search. But if he isn't playing, especially, he's listed as a game time decision. He's dealing with a hamstring injury, hasn't practiced recently, and he's estimated out on the injury reports as of right now. And I'm looking on social media. I haven't seen either way, but I think there's a very good chance Nick Dembski isn't playing in this game. And if out Nick Dembski, I think this offense could really, really struggle.
Yeah, this could be the end of a dynasty for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, end of a 5-year one of getting 2 Grey Cups and 3 losses in the finals. So,
but I think now let's be honest, no disrespect to the Eastern semifinal. I actually think this will be a better game than people are expecting, but everyone's pumped up for the Western semifinal. The Calgary Stampeders versus the BC Lions. Nathan Rourke versus Vernon Adams Jr. And remember, too, Dominic Rhymes was also one of those casualties in that era on that group. Dominic Rhymes was one of their top receivers, and they moved on from him to have money for Nathan Rourke. That was a couple years ago, but still, now you're having that battle start again. They don't even have battle pass. So
they don't have the battle pass.
The battle pass. So I'm really looking for Calgary to try to set the tone with the run in this game. I think Dedrick Mills is going to have a big game if they win. And for them to win this game, Lane is disappearing. He's coming back. Welcome back, Lane.
Sorry.
And for them to get a big win, I think it's going to be important to establish the run so you can run some play action and let big play VA be big play VA. I think Rourke's got a bit of an easier time here because they're in BC. Let's be honest, Rourke has not done good under pressure, under crowd noise. He's not going to have to deal with that in BC because, he's at home. But who's a guy that you guys are looking for either team to really step up in this matchup? Like, is it just the quarterbacks? Are we looking running backs? Is it maybe the defenses on either side? Both defenses have been hit and miss this year.
I'm going to... Oh, go ahead, Lane.
No, go ahead, Dan.
Okay. See how polite we are? We're very Canadian on the show. I think I am taking the underdog here again. And I think Calgary's going to win on their running game. I think Mills is going to have a humongous game because I think Mills is quietly the best run receiver in the CFL, and no one's giving him any credit for it. So I think he wants to set up these credits. I think he's going to have like 100+ yard game. And I think he's going to be the one to step up. Like we all know VA is going to step up and Wimes are going to step up and York may bend the clipboard, like we all know those things are going to happen, right? But I think Mills is going to be the surprising for this one.
I can see Dedrick Mills having a big game, but I'm actually looking for which defense can stop these high-powering offenses. Because both defenses, let's be honest, they've either been really good or they've really struggled. So I'm looking for these defenses to kind of take charge. So time will tell there. But Lane, I'm saying defense. Dan's saying the running game of Calgary. Who are you looking at as kind of the standout for this one?
Well, I think I'm surprised none of you guys have picked this guy because he's been the top pick since day one, since he went up there and said silly things to the press. This is all on the shoulders of Mr. Clipboard, Nathan Rourke. This is his moment, okay? We have talked enough about this guy all season. He talks the talk. He walks the walk. He goes up there, puts up 300 rushes here, does this. But as Dan has said multiple times here at the desk, he's never done it in the playoffs. When the one shot that he had, he was Amber Heard. Because we can say that on the desk. He was literally Amber Hearded the game. Yeah. So...
and Nathan Rourke was back in the media, too, kind of trying to defend his unforeseen detour comments, right? This was on the 30th.
Run away when they put a microphone in front of your face, just like scoop, like Fred Flintstone, just like,
Yabba-dabba-da-doo!
Yabba-dabba-doo!
So, So it's one of those things. That's absolutely right, Key. I did so well in the CFL pool this year.
Can I come swimming in your pool?
I got the bye.
I want to come swimming in the pool.
Everyone else is stressing. I'm just like, excellent. But getting to these Nathan Rourke comments, which I thought,
a butt in the hockey pool.
I'm a little surprised. Nathan Rourke said, I always followed the CFL, but I always wanted to play in the NFL. I followed the dream of going down to NCAA Division I, playing in the States, and went down there and was able to experience the brackets NFL myself. It was one of those situations where the grass seemed greener on the other side in terms of what's outside of football. I think the CFL really represents football in its purest sense. It's community-driven, fan-driven, where the players are approachable. I really felt the players down in the NFL were elevated to a status of more like godlike and untouchable. I'm quoting Nathan Rourke almost. I think there was a lot of people there that just play football for the lifestyle and for what it brings rather than for the love of the game. So Nathan Rourke kind of put himself back in the media. I think people are asking him about that unforeseen detour comment. And I will say, as much as I'm not the biggest Nathan Rourke fan, this is a phenomenal article, by the way, on Third Down Nation. I highly recommend checking it out. And I believe, Key, for saying you're out, Dan is out of the CFL pool, but he is kicking my butt in the NHL pool at the moment.
That's why I meant, yeah, that's what I'm talking
about. It's just interesting. What are your guys' thoughts on this? The article did go to further say that Nathan Rourke did outplay CJ Beathard in the preseason back at the Jags, which he did, but still got the number 3 spot. And I will say, I do agree to an extent with Rourke said. I do find CFL players are much more, from what I've seen, they seem to be more approachable. Like you see CFL players stop and sign autographs in the lineup at a Tim Hortons. Mm-hmm, right. Yeah, and sure. I don't know if that even has to do with the God-like complex, but I did find it interesting. He put himself back in front of the media about this topic right before a playoff game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why?
I mean, I'm sure he was asked the question, but I think it would have been better if
a question for off season, in my opinion.
I think this would have been one that I would have more been like, you know what? Let's talk about it after the season's going on. More for your money. Woo! How's it going, Will? Good to hear from you. We are going to have you on the show very soon. We just had a very, very hectic schedule.
Yeah, everything's been nuts.
And Dan, you're being called out.
Oh, boy.
It's CFL day, Dan. You're still gorgeous, though. So there you go. I still say I'm cheering for the enemy today. So still bitter about the record against BC. Yeah, so Key's taking Calgary. I really, you know what? Maybe you should stop eating cheap tuna.
What?
But all right, so now we've cut. I want to ask you guys though, out of the players on both teams, who's the player that you think needs to have the biggest performance the most? Is it Nathan Rourke after those media comments? Is it Vernon Adams who wants to show that he is the guy? Is it Davis Alexander who basically went, "We ain't scared," against a team that is absolutely dominated in the playoffs until they get to the finals the last 5 years?
Oh, boy.
Like,
okay,
is it Winnipeg? The Grey Cup's in Winnipeg this year.
A lot of people are wanting the most this year in the CFL.
Hamilton's been quiet, which is, I can't believe I'm saying that. Out of all the teams, Sidecats are the quiet team. No, maybe because we're not coming through yet.
They're too busy eating sushi right now.
Yeah, exactly. Even more.
He is saying VA. Big Play VA has the most to prove today. Who do you guys think has the most to prove? Lane, I want to start with you. If there's one guy that you think really has something to prove, who is it?
Nathan Rourke. I'm telling you, it's 100% Nathan Rourke.
Especially after the comments again, and I thought it was interesting how he started off saying, I always wanted to play in the NFL. And I understand that's what people want, and I'm not even criticizing that. But yeah, I think he has the most to prove because he's the one that left, went to the NFL, couldn't get it there. And then the first season back in the CFL, he really struggled and even took him about 3 or 4 weeks. Now he's dominating, but his playoff success has been hit and miss. He had one really good playoff game and one terrible playoff game. But Dan, who do you think has the most pressure?
Well, this wasn't my original answer, but after hearing about the media release of like under 48 hours ago, I'm going to go with Nathan Rourke. Again, you are not representing the league the best you can do. Hey, I understand you're a football player. You want to play the NFL. I totally get that. I'm not dissing for the fact of that. However, you're a part of this league. You're the face of this league. You got to give us some type of credit. You can't just keep bad-mouthing the league you're the face of every time. I get if you're a football player, want to play in the NFL. I'm not denying that. But you can't keep constantly saying it over and over again. I thought the Wesley quote was pretty good, to be honest. I kind of agreed with a lot of it.
Now, this is an interesting comment from Will here. Why should the media release affect anything? And Will,
maybe Will missed what you were saying, Jacob.
For people who don't follow the CFL as long as I have, I think I came out of the womb yelling about 3 downs and holding a Canadian football.
Literally, I was there.
But so Nathan Rourke, when he first left the CFO to go to the NFL, called the Canadian Football League an unforeseen detour, which truthfully put off a lot of people, including myself, even if it was a detour to get to the NFL. He could have worded it much better. Lane has put the nail on the head so many points. Just don't give Nathan Rourke a microphone. Because on the field, he's phenomenal. But so because of those comments, I do think it puts on more pressure personally, because he was back talking about those comments again and talking about how the CFL is at its truest form. Plus, he's been really bad-mouthing the rule changes. I think there's a lot of pressure now for him to perform. He's a Canadian kid, probably going to win the MOP. He's the best Canadian quarterback since Russ Jackson. There is a lot for Nathan Rourke to prove. Everyone wanted Trey Ford to be the face of the Canadian Football League. It's Nathan Rourke right now, and there's a lot for him to prove. And well, I think that's why the comments from the media has so much. At least if an analyst says say the most approved doesn't automatically mean he would be because Dan is like me, not only to the conspiracy buddy, but he's also an anti-Rourke twin.
Yes.
Tyrese Beverette, you know what? Yeah, he's a guy that's going to be a difference maker for Montreal. Absolutely, David. 100%. That guy is phenomenal. But
that's a great choice.
So here's my theory on who has the most approved coming in to this Grey Cup semifinal weekend.
Yeah, not a Grey Cup yet, buddy.
I am going completely off even to half of the comments that I made when I teed everything up. I'm going Zach Collaros. Zach Collaros needs to show he is still truly a number 1 quarterback. I think his job is on the line for next season, and he absolutely has to show up. He has been so inconsistent this year, and he's going against arguably one of the best defenses in football. And I'm not just saying in the Canadian Football League. I think this Montreal defense would give a lot of NFL teams a hard time, the way they do all these exotic blitz passages. It looks like 9 guys are blitzing, then 6 drop, and you try to hit those quick plays, and they're all covered in a zone. This defense is so hard to read. And let's be honest, Zach Collaros has not had a good year. They're going to have to do it without Chris Streveler running the short yardage package. This is all up to Zach Collaros. I feel so bad for Chris Streveler, by the way.
Me too.
Heartbreaking for that injury. That the way he's talking, he may not even come back to play football. I really hope he does.
As much as I picked Winnipeg to win, not having him, it will be a game factor.
But I would say my second closest for that would be Vernon Adams Jr., just because I think he's got a lot to show. That his goal is to, I think, as much as he's not saying it, he hasn't played very well against BC this year. I think he's going to want to change that. I do like David's comment about Tyrese Beverette, though. This is a guy that's had a little bit of a quiet year for his standards. And I think this whole Montreal defense is going to want to take a big step up. But now, though, I think it's time to go over my ridiculous task. Can I get a drum roll, please? I got to go to the comment first. And we got a comment coming. Jacob, do you love Rourke enough to hop on the table and dance if it takes? I'm not a Nathan Rourke fan, by the way, at all. No. By the way, he's a phenomenal, talented player if he didn't have a microphone. And the defense needs to make necessary adjustments, but making sure it won't affect the overall performance of the team. That's also very, very true. We really do have to have Will on at some point. This guy is super, super knowledgeable. I've known him for years. But let's get into, and for anyone who complains that the bracket doesn't look the fanciest, well, I whipped it up pretty quick. Here's my predictions of what I have tried to pick for the Grey Cup. I am saying Calgary is going to beat BC. Montreal is going to beat Winnipeg. Hamilton is going to beat Montreal.
Let's go.
Saskatchewan is going to beat Hamilton.
So you're predicting two best teams to be in the Grey Cup.
Hamilton, Saskatchewan for a final.
But who wins the Grey Cup?
And before I answer that, how are we feeling about this bracket? You're right, Dan. I did not pick the two best teams to win every series.
No.
I picked an underdog for the Western final. How are we feeling, boys? By the way, Lane, thank you for saying my bracket doesn't actually look too bad. I
think it looks good. I like it.
I still think it's going to be. I don't agree with these picks though.
So, what do you want to change, Mr. Daschko?
BC over Calgary.
Okay.
I like Montreal. I can't believe I'm saying this. Montreal maybe over Hamilton.
Oh no!
I could see it.
Tie cat jail you go.
And I actually think BC. I think it's going to be BC Montreal.
You're thinking a BC Montreal final. Dan, what are your thoughts?
I'm sticking with my guns here. I think Calgary's going to be.
You can't have guns. You live in Canada.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
you tell me not get political, but anyway.
That's just making a statement. Continue.
Okay. Can I have a water gun?
Yes. Well, maybe.
Okay. Then you have Winnipeg. I have Winnipeg being Montreal.
Okay.
I think I've been saying it all year. As much as I hate to admit it, I think it's Hamilton's year. I think Hamilton's going to beat. Oh, I don't know, though.
See, truthfully, I actually think if it goes Winnipeg, Hamilton, I think Winnipeg matches up against Hamilton better than Montreal does.
I agree. That's why I'm saying, wow. But I think the dynasty might be over. I think Hamilton's going to beat Winnipeg. And then Calgary and Saskatchewan. That's a tough one, too. I think I might.
So everyone's
Calgary. Yeah, I think I'm going to see Hamilton versus Calgary.
So this is interesting. All three of us have a very different bracket.
Dan, you don't think you're going to be wearing the Nathan Rourke shirt?
No.
Oh, I need that.
Anyone who doesn't know, we have a little gentleman's bet going on here that if BC wins the Grey Cup, Dan has to wear a Nathan Rourke shirt for an entire live show.
That has to happen. Not only that, he has to talk about how great.
That is not a good thing. Lane, I agree with your picks, but I want Calgary-Hamilton matchup. I want Bo to play his old team, and I want Bo to get the ring.
That's what I'm thinking. This be a legendary story. Like, I want Winnipeg to do it, but if they can't, that'll be the way to go.
I'm curious, though. I do think whether it's Hamilton or Saskatchewan or Winnipeg, if either one of those teams win the Grey Cup, I see that quarterback retiring. Because they will have proven the final step that they can win it again.
I don't think Bo Levi Mitchell retiring.
I actually
the guy's acting like he's 50. He's 35.
I could see Mitchell retiring early because remember, you got to remember, he does have two young kids. He does have a wife.
Who cares? Pay for nanny.
People want to be a part of their family.
Why?
Will, I'm so sick of your comment. I want to see Will's face in front of yours. Will's on my bracket.
Interesting. I like that.
Bo's gonna play another year from Key.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I hate it when players play well past when they should be. It's nice when they retire when they're on top. Levi Mitchell could win the MOP this year if he wins a Grey Cup. Trevor Harris, he's more likely, I think, and same with Zach Collaros. I could see either one of them retiring this year, especially if they win a Grey Cup. But now you guys are probably wondering, who did I pick to win the Grey Cup? I want to ask you guys, out of my bracket, who would you take, Hamilton or Saskatchewan?
Hamilton.
Mr. Morford?
I don't know why. I just think it's Hamilton's year. I hate to say that as an Argo fan, but I think it's Hamilton's year.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, and I'm sorry, Lane.
You're going to take the cop out.
I cried enough last night, Jacob. Please don't make me cry again.
I am predicting the Saskatchewan Roughriders to win the Grey Cup this year. I think this team is just too stacked.
Best team. Yeah.
I think this team has all three phases to perfection.
I see a point.
I think this Grey Cup will be close. Actually, I think for the most part, the only game I could see getting out of hand is actually the Eastern semifinal for either team. By the way, as much as I'm picking Montreal, I could see Winnipeg blowing the doors off Montreal early and pulling away. But that is my prediction that the Saskatchewan Roughriders will be the Grey Cup champion this year. But we know, Lane, you were taking a BC Hamilton. Oh, sorry, back in the comment section here. They have it all together and all their ducks in a row. And that's how I feel about the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I think these other teams are good. I think the Saskatchewan team just has every piece. You have Mario Alford, who's the best kick returner, arguably, in the CFL. You have Trevor Harris, who is the most accurate quarterback in professional football. Not Canadian football, professional football. You have a receiving core that your backups are other guys' top receivers. You have a defense that creates so many turnovers. And if all else fails, you also have AJ Ouellette, who can just pound the rock. I really think this team is built to win in the playoffs.
I wish Wick was here from Hamilton Sports Central, because Wick has made some very good points.
Why, because he's your favorite Ticat fan and not me?
No, just saying, he's made some very good points.
We'll get to your comment in a second, Keith.
Even though Saskatchewan has the best record, they do have some weak spots.
Oh, absolutely. And for example, I was actually getting concerned about Saskatchewan when they almost lost to the Toronto Argos. I'm going to be honest with you guys. When the Argos almost beat them with Jared Dagey at the helm, I was actually concerned. By the way, Shohei Ohtani is starting for the Dodgers today, which is a surprise.
I'm not surprised by that at all.
I'm very surprised.
Oh,
why?
No.
He's your best player.
He's not your best pitcher, though.
$750 million, though.
I wish I'd do it for $749. But back to the comments here. Barger's my last hope. Almost every professional sports player bears of kids and young. Hey, there you go. You know what? I hope then you get
Jacob,
your love boat.
I know I was a little emotional last night. I got a little to say at least. But I did want to ask one more thing. Now that I've had a minute to go get some oxygen and walk outside and breathe fresh air. If the Blue Jays don't get it done, do you think that Barger might get chased out of town for not knowing how to run the bases?
No, absolutely not.
Because you got to imagine, if he doesn't make that terrible mistake, it's only 2 outs with 2 guys on base.
You know what, though? You could blame they were 1 for 9 of runners in scoring position. They had lots of other opportunities in that game. And by the way, if you want to give us your thoughts on that, make sure to send us an email at the Analyst Desk Sports Show @gmail.com. And you can tell us your thoughts, or obviously jump in the comment section. But no, I'm thinking if a player gets ran out of Toronto, it might actually be Bichette, depending on how much money he wants.
True.
But Dan, who is your Grey Cup pick?
Hamilton.
You're picking Hamilton over Calgary, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, Hamilton.
I hate to admit it, I just think it's Hamilton's year.
And just so everyone is aware, we will also do a playoff preview for the conference finals. We'll have a look at. I'll make graphics of Dan and Lane's both their predictions.
Looks like we could be at the conference finals.
Oh, but let's get back into baseball for a little bit, though, so we have some time before the football kicks off. And this is why we want to come on a little. Normally, I know we come on about 45 minutes before for 2 games, but I figured we'll give us some time to talk some Blue Jays as well. I could honestly see some lineup changes for the Jays, especially in the pitching. I personally think your goal is to get at least between 3 to 4 innings out of Scherzer.
Mad Max.
I think that's got to be the goal. I mean, if he can go 6 innings, that's just phenomenal. That's gravy. He pitched really well the last game against the Dodgers, even though he did allow a couple dingers. But overall, I thought he pitched really well.
Interesting little fact: the last 2 games, the last 2 Game 7s in World Series, Mad Max pitched both of them.
I will say, if Max Scherzer can get a win today, that is just going to be the perfect retirement story.
He ain't retiring.
He's 41, dude.
Doesn't matter.
He's losing velocity on his fastball. He's not going to pitch much longer.
Yeah.
And it'll be the ultimate retirement story. But yeah, when you mention it, I feel the pitching has been scary. I do agree with you, Will. It's been, it's tough though, right? I thought Gausman played phenomenally well.
He did, yeah.
We are hearing that Trey Savage is available out of the bullpen today if needed. I'm telling you one thing. I think these are the pitchers you will see potentially today. Obviously, Max Scherzer.
Yeah.
Bieber.
Chris Bassett.
Yeah. I was thinking Bieber, too.
I'm saying Chris Bassett 100%. He has been your best
he
bullpen guy.
Too.
Varland, he's pitched in almost every single game.
Eric Lauer?
Hoffman.
Eric Lauer, yeah.
Potentially Lauer. Potentially a Savage, potentially Bieber. I don't think we're gonna. You might see Sir Anthony Dominguez, but I don't know how much you're gonna see.
Unless we go into 20th inning, I don't think we're seeing little.
He pitched very well yesterday, but I think I'm looking for Chris Bassett to possibly pitch 2 to 3 innings today for the Jays if needed. Chris Bassett's been almost unhittable.
Yeah, he's been really good
for now.
And I actually do also feel bad for Kevin Gausman, because I think Kevin Gausman's had a really good playoffs. He just hasn't been getting wins.
This is what was so frustrating. Was I literally said, if you were smart, if the Jays were smart, and I feel like this was something Schneider did. Schneider, sometimes I love the guy, but I think sometimes I think he doesn't eat his breakfast sandwich at the right time. Why did you not save Kevin Gausman for Game 7? Just go, okay, you know what? They got No, listen to me. Hold on. You knew.
Let him speak, brother.
You knew that they were going to throw I'm going to botch the name. Yoshibu Yamamoto out there.
Yamamoto.
You knew he was coming out there for Game 6. You knew he was going to pitch lights up because this guy always pitches lights up. He hardly makes mistakes. He's one of the best pitchers in the major league. If you knew that there was going to be a tough game and it was probably not going to go your way, you should have put Bieber, Bassett, and saved Kevin Gausman for Game 7 when he has a more favorable matchup. Because if you have Game 7 Gausman in Game 6, the way you played tonight, you're winning that game 100%. 12 strikeouts, you're winning that game. I don't care. That's inexcusable, and that's a mistake.
But you got to remember, though, in that game, they actually got a Yamamoto quite a bit. They chased him out of the game early. They actually got a lot of hits. It came down to the Jays just did, as Sage mentioned at the very beginning of the show, the Jays would just refuse to bunt, and they just wouldn't try to get much going. But I do see your point, though, Lane, about potentially maybe saving. Maybe you could have went Scherzer today and went Gausman for Game 7.
That's what I would have done. 100%.
But more frequent pitching changes, especially if mistakes are being made. And maybe that's the case too, Will. Maybe you don't leave a guy in there too long if he's starting to get burnt. Like, I will say today, if Scherzer's struggling early, then you're putting in Bieber. I think that's where you could see Shane Bieber getting in this game. Let's say Scherzer by the second inning's already allowed 3 or 4 home runs. Then you're absolutely potentially doing that. So we're a little behind in the comments section here. Magnum PI hasn't done diddly squat, to use the Steven Tyler's favorite words. If we were truly asking who's going to win the game for us, it's Scherzer, Bassett, and Ernie. Ernie Clement's been absolutely on fire.
Little fun.
And a new comment here, Pump and Fear Storm. Tevin Jones, you know what? He's had a very, very big season this year in the CFL. So watch out to see what he can do in the playoffs for Calgary today. He could be someone when we talk about a player to step up. Maybe Tevin Jones is that guy.
I can see that. Very good. I like when people go off the map like that.
First of all, Adam, you need a profile picture, good sir.
He's got a big A.
Not even a capital A. And he's calling you out, Lane.
Why?
Why throw away Game 6 when you can just end the series? Now, they didn't.
Because they didn't end the series. That's why.
Hindsight's 2020. But I think
being a smart manager, it's like, okay, Jacob, here, I got a question for you.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, so let's just say, for example, goalies rotate. Okay, let's just say goalies in the NHL. I know this is a hypothetical question.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's just say goalies rotated every game. You're the Leafs coach. Okay, It's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and so for some reason Florida's on the other side. If you know Sergei Bobrovsky, Big Bob, is going to play Game 6, and he has had 4 shutouts, and he hasn't allowed a goal in 4 games, and the next guy up is some Alex Lyons. Are you putting Joseph Wall in Game 6, or are you putting Anthony Stolarz when you could put Anthony Stolarz, who was number 1 in save percentage, number 1 in goals against average? Are you saving him for one more game and saying, you know what? I know we're probably not going to beat Bob tonight, but I know we can win Game 7 if I put Anthony Stolarz in Game 7. 100% you are, because you know your guy. You know you can win that game. You have confidence. You're not going to beat Bob, who hasn't allowed a goal in 4.5 months. The last time the Leafs won the damn Stanley Cup, you're putting in the guy you know can win the damn game. It's inexcusable. I don't care. There's zero excuses for it.
You know what, Lane? When you put it that way, I see your point, but I'm going to change the hypothetical here a little bit. Bobrovsky had too many tacos before the game, and now he's got diarrhea.
Walt Disney poo-poo.
And he is really struggling, and you lose 7-6 because you put in the backup goalie. What if the Jays got to Yamamoto? It has happened. This guy's not unhittable. But I do understand both sides to it. Lane is fired up. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lane is ready to go, and we love the passion. I agree, but I feel like though Bieber gets tired after one inning, then he gets tired and starts pitching very poorly. That is true. Shane Bieber has had some struggles.
He's been injured almost a whole year, right?
Shane Bieber, what I've really liked, he's battled, right? Mm-hmm. He battles in games. Even if he has a bad inning, he's been finding ways to get out of it and make it special. But guys, Scherzer has got it done so far. I do agree. Scherzer has pitched really well so far in the playoffs. Say 7 pitchers and we win, then you guys will be saying something good about it. No, I can honestly, at first, Lane, when you started to make your point, I thought you were crazy. I don't think I would do what you're saying, but I understand the thought process, if that makes any sense. The problem is, I think for Schneider, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't at this point. It's basically, just a very, you're playing a very good team. And as Adam said, you could have just won Game 6. Now, I'm going to bring up the exact same point, though, that this is going to frustrate Leaf fans everywhere. You could say the exact same thing back in 1993 when they lost.
That was Wayne Gretzky.
And they could have just won the next game, and they didn't, right? So the Jays now have a chance to win one game. Will Vladdy Guerrero wear an Austin Matthews jersey again today?
Oh, boy.
No. He won it last Game 7. They won.
That's true.
Please don't.
I want him to. I want to see the Austin Matthews swag out there.
Little interesting fact.
So then Austin Matthews can win 2 Game 7s. Holy macana.
Little interesting fact. I had someone, fan of the show, John, sent to me on. Oh,
so Lane, apparently you are like Clarence Hicks. He is a country singer. Are you a Clarence Hicks fan, Lane?
No idea.
Continue, Mr. Moore.
Good comment, bro. I like it. So, John, a friend of the program, sent me this interesting Instagram clip. They were talking to Ernie Komet. I remember last night, a couple nights ago, whatever. No one knew this. I didn't know this. His glove actually broke, and he was desperate for a glove when he bought a glove off eBay. So all the crazy catches he's been making, he doesn't know whose glove it is. He bought off eBay.
That's interesting. He's worried we're jinxing everything. I don't know how I'm going to jinx or garsh, whatever. Key, you're using words that are too complicated.
Well, see, here's a way.
Oh, right, Clarence Hicks, not the country singer. I'm sorry, I was thinking of a different Hicks.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what are you talking about?
On the Calgary Stampeders, yes, he's a phenomenal. He's actually, when we talked about players who may have an absolutely monster of a game, look for this defensive line for Calgary to try to take over and put a lot of pressure on Nathan Rourke.
Yeah, 100%.
I was thinking of Tim Hicks. I got the names mixed up. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I'm
very curious on what kind of cars you're working on there. I can see from the profile picture.
It looks like a Fox body to me.
It does look like a Fox body.
Sweet car.
Lane's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Now we're gonna get back to 30 and 100 heads again.
Well, the other time we do talk automotive on the decks here, so maybe we should start talking more automotive here.
Don't wear the Leafs jersey. Okay, but he did it last time and they won in a Game 7. So in theory, to not jinx it, you got to do it again.
That's whiskey. I don't know. That's whiskey.
Crappy Canadian Fox. What does the fox say? Hey, that fox looks awesome, though, man. I can't honestly let us. if you're in the comment sections again, give us updates on how is it going. We do like to talk automotive here at the desk as well.
Yeah, those Fox bodies are incredible. It's starting
And
to
see,
go up in
Dan, you were
value.
telling me that people wouldn't want to talk as much CFL during the World Series Game 7, and we've got lots of CFL comments.
We have, yes.
The CFL, something I actually do want to quickly point out about this, actually. You do know the Grey Cup and World Series have been getting very, very, very almost the same type of TV ratings. And I know the World Series has multiple games, but the Grey Cup gets anywhere usually from 4 to 7 million Canadians watching. So I just like to remind people that the CFL is a much bigger game than people give it credit for.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
And if you haven't watched it, I really think you need to go out there and give it. Like Lane, actually, this would be a great perspective from you, Lane. I know you're always a CFL fan, right? But you've even admitted you watched more CFL games this year than you did other years. And then we'll get into these comments before we sign off. Lane, would you say after watching more games, you have a better appreciation for how good this league actually is?
100%.
Like, it's super competitive. It's like what Ocho Cinco used to say, which, by the way, he changed his name just to piss off the NFL, which I love that.
Yeah.
If you watch that, he said he did it once as a joke, and the NFL fined him $50,000. So he decided to just change his name legally to that, so they couldn't fine him anymore for doing it, and I loved it. But it's one of those things, if you haven't given the CFL a real good chance, you got to give it a chance. But before we go, what do the Jays need to improve today? I'm going to say just not worrying about dingers every hit. Just get on base when guys are in scoring position. Just find a way, a chip shot down the field. Shades mentioned bunting. Maybe you got to bunt to try to bring in some runs. I think the goal has to be they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Be careful of the wall.
Yes, whoever put that wall piece down there is in a lot of trouble. Go Bombers from Key. Oh, that hurts me. I really don't like the Blue Bombers, Key, but that's okay. And funny enough, they're actually my grandfather's secondary team. We asked him why. He said he didn't know. But and the Sens need to beat Montreal just to cause drama on the streets. Don't flip.
Oh, I like that.
I would love to, and that's one thing too. Will Montreal continue to play as well as they are at the moment? We did a gas or ass yesterday from a viewer about is Montreal a true cup contender, right? Yeah. So we had that link from our TikTok. Eli Shannon asked us to do it. So
sorry, I will say,
yeah, it would be in. Go ahead, Dan.
Ottawa beat Calgary the other day in a shootout, so that was pretty impressive.
Oh, Calgary! Oh my, poor Calgary, man. The Flames are struggling. At least Calgary's got the Stampeders to cheer for at the moment, and lots of hockey games today. Quickly before we take off, we got the Hurricanes and the Bruins, who are currently tied at a big old nothing at the end of the first. Penguins and Jets, which I mentioned during the headlines episode. Didn't get a chance to watch that. Head over to Facebook and YouTube and TikTok, and it's up there on Instagram. This is a powerhouse matchup between the Jets and Penguins, right? Lots of good games today. 100%. Leafs also play the Flyers today at 7. Hopefully they do something. Edmonton plays the Blackhawks. I know David's looking for a big Blackhawks victory, and I think it's possible, as I said in the headlines. So, yeah, everyone is on a cauliflower. Everyone's on a big hype, though, about Montreal right now. So I am curious to see if Montreal can keep that going. And the East is so tight. Like, the Leafs are dead last, and they're only 1 point out of a playoff spot right now.
Yeah.
But I think it's time we sign off at the desk as we got to watch some football. But before we go, I will quickly remind everyone
eat some food.
Of my playoff bracket, which has Calgary beating BC today and Montreal beating Winnipeg. Let's see if I'm right. And if I'm not right, hey, I'll admit it. Remember, I'm going to bring this up after going into the next round when we recap this round. So you're going to see a lot of this bracket still. So don't think that if I'm wrong, I'm just going to pretend.
I'm predicting Winnipeg for the win today over Montreal and Calgary over BC.
So Dan and Lane, I'm going to say this on the air. You guys send me your brackets later, and I will build graphics so we can keep track of everyone's brackets going in, and we'll put our records down and see who has the best record at the end of the playoffs.
Oh, probably not going to be me, but let's go.
And I personally think this bracket turned out, considering I definitely got it done. Yeah, it probably was Caulfield. Probably David. That autocorrect. Yeah, Caulfield's been killing it right now. And one last more for your money. Woo! But thank you very much, everyone, for joining us at the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. And we'll be back at the end of the day. At least Dan and I will be for sure. Whether it's tonight or maybe we wrap everything up tomorrow morning, we'll be back either tonight or tomorrow morning, or maybe we do both. Maybe we do more of a Jays tonight, recap everything else tomorrow morning. Thank you very much for watching At the Desk. I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by Mr. More for Your Money.
Woo!
And Mr. Lane Dash and Daschko. Until next time, thanks for joining us at the desk, where every day feels like game day.
Bye-bye.
Game day.